So we've just done some research. We've interviewed some IT decision makers and some marketing professionals in tech vendors. And the main topic of the research was social media and how both parties use it.
Yeah, we thought it'd be interesting to get a view of the two different sides of the coin, see how people are using social media these days. We last did this with IT purchasers about 3 years ago, so it would be interesting to see how things have changed.
And have they changed?
Yeah, they have. It's interesting actually. The relationship seems to be sort of locked together in the sense that IT purchasers are finding social media more useful now. They certainly welcome vendors' use of social media. So it's quite clear that at one level at least, vendors are beginning to use social media significantly more than they were 3 years ago.
So they're using it more, but for what? I mean, is it just a channel like any other channel? Or?
Well, I mean, there are some macro trends in vendor marketing. For example, over the last few years, not surprisingly, budgets have reduced somewhat. So with that, or maybe as a consequence of that, the use of social media has increased quite substantially. I think over 80% of the vendors who took the survey said that they were using social media a great deal more, recognizing it as a cultural shift in marketing communications now.
So more social media is being used. The IT decision makers whom the vendors are trying to attract are using social media. So there's a common goal there, common ground.
Yeah.
For what?
Well, vendors say that we asked them about what campaigns are for these days, and I think 93% said a key performance indicator of campaigns these days was demand generation, creating sales leads. So one assumes that with the burgeoning use of social media, there is a link between those two things, that they are seeking to attract IT purchasers to come and start communicating with them.
Is it a successful conduit that's being created here by the vendor?
Well, I mean, it certainly can be, but at the end of it all, the quality of what they're using to attract. If to use an analogy, if they're laying bait for IT purchasers to come and talk to them, then that bait has got to be of some quality.
So you're talking content?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's not surprising that although budgets have declined, the proportion of their budget that they're using to build content is the second largest chunk of their budget. Events remains the thing that they're spending most on, but content is the next.